Hey everybody, welcome back to Starfyre Gaming. I am Sir Joseph and this is Star Trek Voyager Across the Unknown. For those of you that have been watching recently, you know I started a Temple of Elemental Evil run. And well, we had a glitch the last time we played. Took forever to try to figure out around that glitch, and then just kind of got stuck and couldn't get anywhere. There's a lot of lost XP because it was slow and tedious, and I'd have to do it all off camera, which isn't as fun for me. So I decided to shelf the Temple of Elemental Evil. I do apologize for anybody that was excited about me finishing that. But between the glitches that I ran into, which really disappointed me, and then of course the difficulty cap that I was hitting because I evidently suck at that game, I decided to do something different, and that different is Star Trek Voyager. Let me know in the comments if this is something you like. I'm going to try to play this as long as people are interested in it. If not, maybe we can do something a little more role play. There's no combat in this game. I've played a little bit of it already. So there's no combat that's going to be involved in this game, except there's a little bit of ship combat, and it's not like, oh my gosh, this ship combat is amazing. It's like it's doable, but it's very story driven. And if you ever watch the Voyager show, it evidently follows that fairly closely. I've seen a few Voyager episodes, so I kind of knew a few things that were going on, but I didn't watch Voyager. So the story's new for me, which is exciting, and hopefully you guys will like it too. So we're gonna start. There's three different things. I We can do adventure, which is the easy way. I'm not a big, easy, super easy guy. So we're gonna go with survival mode. So resources are limited, combat is challenging, dialogue and away missions are demanding, and homesickness is a problem. Whereas on here, we've got plentiful, combat is manageable, dialogue is missions less challenging, and homesickness is a minor problem. So we're going to go ahead and go on survival mode. So you are captain of the Federation starship USS Voyager, and then other things
So,
there.
a few days back, this Captain Janeway breezes into my cozy penal colony like she owns the place. She's stern and smells like coffee and regulations. And the kicker? She's served with my old man on the Albatani. Turns out her security chief, Tuvok, was playing spy on a Maquis ship that vanished in the Badlands. Now Janeway needs that missing ship found, and because of my past associations, I'm apparently the resident expert on the Badlands. I find the missing Maquis. She puts in a good word for me at my next parole review. Simple. Still, the view is infinitely better than a holding cell. It's not every day you get a front row seat on a brand new Intrepid-class starship's maiden voyage. The USS Voyager. Might even get to touch the helm.
Now I do have the music turned off on this because if anything is going to get us hit with a copyright infringement, it is the music. Excuse me. So we're gonna go with this. One thing that's kind of cool is that voiceover evidently is from the actual actor who played this character on the TV show. I've just found that out recently. I thought that was kind of cool. But anyways, let's get started here. So, gentlemen, welcome to Voyager. Ensign Kim, you're fresh out of the academy. Ready for your first deep space assignment? Reporting for duty, Captain. It's an honor to be here. I hope I live up to your expectations. Ensign Kim, I trust you've already met Tom Paris, our esteemed observer, a former Maquis pilot who will help us reach the Badlands for the Maquis vessel, or search the Badlands for the Maquis vessel. With all due respect, ma'am, observer is hardly a title befitting my talents. I am the best damn pilot in this sector. Call me pilot extraordinaire, ensign. The Maquis. Wow, I've heard a lot of stories about them. Relax. I was with the Maquis only a few weeks before I was captured and sent to a lovely little penal colony in New Zealand. Penal colony? Enough chatter, gentlemen. All hands, this is the captain. Report to your stations. Helm, take us into the Badlands. Maximum warp. The Badlands, a treacherous region of space where violent plasma storms can cripple even the most advanced starships. Captain Janeway observes the swirling chaos from the view screen, a subtle smile playing on her lips. She's ready for the challenge. Scanners are picking up no other vessels in the system, Captain. It's your time to shine, Mr. Paris. Any idea where your former colleagues might be hiding? It wasn't exactly Marquis of the Year, Captain, but they did prefer underground bases, remote planets, and... Captain, I don't mean to interrupt, but I'm reading a coherent Tetryon beam scanning us, and a displacement wave headed towards us. Incoming! A colossal wave of turbulent energy surges towards Voyager, its power dwarfing anything the crew has ever seen. With no time to analyze the threat, emergency measures are initiated. Red alert, Helm! Evasive maneuvers! Too late! The wave will intercept us in 5 seconds! Brace for impact! I think the graphics in this are pretty good. I like the graphics on it. Aftermath. As the crew regains consciousness, they find the bridge in total devastation. Twisted metal, sparking consoles, and injured crewmates paint a grim picture. What happened? Damage report. Major hull and deck damage. The transporters are offline and we're receiving casualty reports. Bridge to sickbay. Doctor, I've got injured crew on the bridge. Doctor? Damn! Captain, we're losing systems across multiple decks. The deuterium tanks are empty. Warp core's gone to gray mode. We're on reserves. Barely. Mr. Paris, take the helm. Scan for the nearest source of deuterium. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that properly, but that's how I'm pronouncing it. Deuterium? I think that sounds better. Deuterium. External sensors are offline. Stellar cartography must be down. Voyager's blind, Captain. Janeway to engineering. We need stellar cartography back online now. Alright, so this is telling you how to repair stuff. So this we need to do first. If you scan out, you can see there is almost nothing. Mess hall's damaged. The bridge is in one piece. Life support on this level is damaged. So basically you bring life support on a level, and then you can do stuff in that level. So we can fix the shield generator, fix the mess hall. These ruined rooms, we will remove the ruin, clean them up, and stuff like that. But first things first, we need to have, what was it that I pulled away and I lost where we were going to here? Stellar cartography. There it is. So it's just offline. Captain, sensor's picking up something out there, but what Harry is trying to stammer is we're not in the Badlands anymore. What is that thing? Where are we? If our sensors are working, we just jumped over 70,000 light years into the Delta Quadrant. The Delta Quadrant? How? Captain, life support systems are failing. This Array will have to wait. Mr. Paris, take the helm. Find us a deuterium source. Alright, so this tells you how to navigate through the system. So this is the system. Then there will be sectors in the quadrant that we'll deal with. So these things, the question marks, are things we don't know. We can scan with the right mouse button, set course with the left mouse button. So we're going to scan a couple things here. There we go. Oh, that's a duranium. Not, so the deuterium is what we need, which has got this symbol here. This is like one of the main construction stuff. So if we look across here, they've got Borg nanites, which we don't have any, and the little bit that I played, we never found any. Gel packs are needed for life support and certain other things. Our science, we get science points, which we will then use to do technology. Dilithium is used for different things in the warp core and certain building stuff and certain tech tree stuff. This is our fuel. We run out of it, we're floating in space. We have energy batteries. So basically, when we're out of fuel, the batteries will back us up for a short period of time. This is the construction. This is another construction. This is a lesser used construction thing, but it is construction. And then there's food and how much we feed our people. So while the geranium is nice, it's not what we need right now because we are shy on fuel. Let's grab the deuterium then. All right, and this tells us how to get where we're going. This tells us about points of interest. So there is the fuel, so we are going to fly over there. And everything takes cycles, so there's like, we'll burn X amount of fuel per cycle. We'll use X amount of food per cycle. I'm not sure if it's considered a day or what, but that's what I assume it is. So then these are things we can do. So we can collect and easily collect any easily accessible resources. So the green bar above means everything we do will be positive. Now this one says use a tractor beam to clump up the debris for easier collection. So now you see half of it is yellow. So there's a random number generator that's going to slide a little thing back and forth across that. If it's in the green, we'll get more of the 776. If it's in the yellow, we'll get less. There's also orange, which gives you like almost nothing, and then red, which means something bad happens. People can die, get injured, you can lose material, stuff like that. We're going to play it safe for now, though, and we're just going to collect and the easy stuff. So now we're going to have... All right, Captain, we can now deactivate gray mode. Captain, ready to increase warp core output. So it's talking about our warp core. So this is the warp core, so we're going to open up this. Gray mode is where we were at. We're going to hop out of gray mode, which means we're going to click on this section right here. Our energy levels are returning to normal, Captain. Good. Now what about this thing, this array? And we'll talk more about the warp core in a bit. I can't tell, Captain, but our scanners detected a marquee vessel next to it. So this tells you things we can do. We can just try to hail them, or we can scan for life. So we got a 100% chance of succeeding that, so might as well do it. So we're going to scan for life signs. Scan the ship for life signs, Ensign. There's no one on board, Captain. All right, so we're going to scan the array. Now here, we have a 40% base chance, and then our sensor array is level 1, which gives us another 35. So higher levels, better chances. What about the array? Success. Several life forms on board, Captain. Is one of them Vulcan? I'm not sure, Captain. The signals are weak. Well, just have to see for ourselves. Oh, we'll just have to see for ourselves. I want the transporter room repaired and ready. Mr. Paris, get us a duranium deposit. We need it to repair the transporter room. All right, so this is talking about the stuff that I just went over. And there is our thing. So zoom over here. Again, we can just get it easy, and we can tractor beam and have a mistake, but we need this. This is imperative, so we are going to go ahead and grab it. And we need 14 of them, so this will definitely do it. If we had a bad roll, we might not get 14 and have to go find another one. So we get the 49. We now have all the duranium we need. We do not have all the duranium we need, trust me. Engineering is standing by to repair the transporter, Captain. So this is telling us how to repair stuff. So we click on here. We say repair. It's going to take one crew worker, which is this right here. We have work teams. This is how many crew we have up here. We have 50 crew, and 32 of our crew are doing absolutely nothing right now. So this just requires 14 of our duranium, so that went down. Transporters are back online, Captain. Mr. Paris, set course for the array. It's time we got some answers. So if we go to the ship here, I'll just show you real quickly. So this thing here, to be at tier 1, our warp core uses up 24 units of fuel every cycle and generates 120 power. The power right now, we're using up 15 power in consumption, and that's for things like the stuff the transporter room, the bridge, everything that we have active uses power. And so when we run out of power, when we don't have enough power, we have to upgrade the ship. And also, if we have rooms open that we're not using crew for, then we can turn off rooms so we're saving power. So back to the array. Ensign Kim and Mr. Paris, get ready for your first away mission. Alright, this just tells you how array missions go, and I'll explain that. So over here are the challenges that are going to await us. There's going to be 4 challenges. The first one can be solved with either the Starfleet symbol or a science symbol. The second one, the Starfleet symbol, medical symbol, science symbol. Third one, Starfleet medical engineering, Starfleet and engineering for the last one. So we click here. These are their stats. They're level 1. They get experience points doing things, and they level up. So Tom is going to bring us the Starfleet, some tech, and some science or medical, whereas Kim is going to bring us some more tech and the science. We only have 2 people and 2 options, so we're taking both of them. This is explaining it. I'll get into better detail. Captain, we seem to have materialized in the middle of a cornfield. This place, it's eerily similar to Earth, but something's off. Any suggestions on what to do next? So these are our options on things that we can do. So we can use the Starfleet thing. Require a 29. Tom only gives us a 25, which means we're not going to be fully there. So again, there's going to be a little sliding bar going back and forth. You'll actually see it this time because the bar's not all green like on the last 2 places. If it stops in red, bad things happen. So this is our chance to fail right here. Now if we come down here, so that's looking for footprints and noises. And then there's scan for signs of life. So if we click here, less of a chance of anything happening, like getting injured or something like that. There can be rewards. There are no rewards for any of these. Now, as we use these things, they get tired, which means they don't have as good of skills. Now, the next one uses the Starfleet, the medicine, or the tech. Tom's got the Starfleet and the medicine, the tech not so much. So we're going to go with this one. So we just hold down here to do that. And there's the bar going back and forth. So it stopped up there for a success. So Tom and Harry use their tricorders to scan for life signs and detect a strange energy spike emanating from a nearby area. Following the readings, they navigate through the corn and find a farm with people working the fields. An old man sits on a porch of a nearby farmhouse, strumming a banjo. All right, so you see, Harry is now fatigued a little bit because he had to work, and so his stats are not quite as high. And that's what this is telling us. Captain, this old man seems harmless enough. He might know what's going on here. How should we approach him? So here you can see we get stuff. So the best reward is to use Starfleet, but there's a big chance of failure here. But we would get 15 science points. I'm kind of a scaredy cat on this big. This is way too big for me. But if we look down here, we get 5. We only get 5 on these, but very little chance of. So we're going to see. You can see we're right here. We're going to try this one. So right about here, if it's there or below, we made the right choice. If it's up here, then we should have gone with this one. So we're going to try to read his body language for any clues. All right. So we could have gotten the big payout, but again, I didn't want to risk it. Tom and Harry and Tom discreetly observe the old man, trying to analyze his body language. Something feels off, like he's putting on an act, but they can't quite put their finger on why. The old man seems perplexed by their presence, muttering about Harry and Tom being early and how it's not their turn yet. He invites them to stay on the farm and wait, offering them some fresh corn cobs. And here you can see we got the 5 science. Science is so critical in this game from what I can figure out. I always want to try to do science when I can do science. The old man isn't much help. We'll try to find the marquee ourselves. There's a large barn behind the farmhouse. The tricorder readings are off their charts. There's definitely something strange about it, especially that back wall. So now we see Paris is weakened and Harry is full up because you don't do anything on one, then you're back in deal. You can keep doing it, as you can see. This will let us try again. But, that's a really bad choice. It gets 10 science. This one here gets us better science. Now we could do this one. You can combine both of these to succeed. Now the problem is, like, if we go here, that's a better choice there. We'll have everybody. If we do this, we're going to automatically succeed. And now you see there's this yellow up here. If it's on this side of the bar, that means if we hit in here, we get even more than what it's saying we might get. Now this will fatigue Tom even more, but we only have 1 left, and they're both tech guys again, so maybe if we need to do tech, we can hammer the tech home and be fine. So we're going to do this one and hope that this one will be nice to us. So we didn't hit in the orange. That's what we were trying for. We would have been fine either way. But if we didn't go with it, then we probably would have had problems. Harry and Tom try to disrupt the energy field, causing a flicker in the air. But before they can break the illusion, the people from the field burst in. Not the energy field, but the cornfield, wielding farm tools as weapons. The old man appears and reveals the barn as an illusion, the back wall dissolving to show a bluish glowing room where unconscious people, including a tattooed man and a half-Klingon woman, lie on surgical tables. All right, so this is telling us that there's consequences on this decision. When they got this yellow bar around them, that means there's consequences to what you do. So, we go here. The people must be the missing marquee. They are being held here, Captain. We must get them out. We must get them. So, we got a chance here. We get this stuff. Or we can do here, and we're going to automatically. So we're going to wake up the half Klingon woman. See? That was down near the end. We might have failed that had we tried to do it the other way around. Harry sprints towards the half Klingon woman, hoping to rouse her. As he reaches out, the old man stops him, a look of concern on his face. Before Harry can react, a blinding white light fills the room and everything goes blank. And we got the fuel. So now it tells you this is what happened. They got their experience, so they both leveled up to level 2. This is how we got our experience. This is the stuff we gathered, and now it will be added to our totals. Captain Janeway anxiously awaits the return of her away team when Harry Kim unexpectedly materializes behind her. What happened on the array? Whoa, I'm back on the Voyager? What happened over there, Mr. Kim? We lost contact with you for several hours. Hours? But we were just there. We were just there, right, Tom? Tom? Seems like he's still on the array. I hope. Captain, we're being hailed by the Marquis. Starfleet, I don't know what you did to our commander, but I can still ram this wreck into your precious starship. Ram us? One of our own is also missing. It would make sense to postpone the ramming until we're all accounted for. Does that sound reasonable? We're beaming over. Despite Janeway's invitation, the arrival of the Marquis crew is fraught with tension. Both sides remain wary as they prepare to discuss their shared predicament. Don't play games, Starfleet. We're armed and ready to defend ourselves. I wouldn't have it any other way. Glad to have you back, Tuvok. Likewise, Captain. Miss Torres, I must inform you that I was assigned to infiltrate the Marquis. I never liked you, Vulcan. See, in my test run on this, we had the tattooed guy and not her. That is unsurprising. I assure you I perform my Marquis duties to the highest of standards. Petach. Assuming that's Klingon. You win some, you lose some. Let's focus on bringing Mr. Paris and your commander back. His name is Chakotay, and we can't get back that easily. They're sealed, and their communications are cut off. Lieutenant Tuvok, get down to engineering and find a way to bypass whatever's jamming our communications. Report back as soon as you have a solution. Captain, the ship's status remains critical. Repair protocols are imperative. We require resources in the engineering office to mobilize additional workforces. Prioritize life support, secure core decks, and restore Deck 5 functionality first to gain access to engineering office. Alright, so we already kind of went over that. So this is the deck that he wants done. And it's a nice deck. It's a pretty long one too, so that's good. So we're going to switch on life support. Thankfully it wasn't damaged. Life support on Deck 5, Captain. Engineering office is now accessible. So this is the engineering office. And of course, it's a mess. We'll have to fix it before we can even use it. So it's damaged, so we click on this. So it's going to take 1 crew, which we've got. It's going to take 8 of this stuff, which we've got. And it's going to take 2 cycles to repair it. So repairs in progress. Until completion, it would be logical to scan all planets in the system and gather more deuterium and duranium. They like their deiums. Alright, so if we go out, we can scan the rest of the planets. Oh. There's no point in scanning anything if there's no question mark over it. Alright, so lots of fuel. a couple of these things here. So this, if you look at it here, we've got 806 deuterium, and it's got a maximum capacity of 1,000. I'm about to sneeze. Yep, nope. Oh yeah, here it is. Pardon me. All right. So we're closest to our cap. This has a cap of 100, cap of 100 with none, and there's no food. So we're going to grab this, since we don't need the fuel right away. So the engineering office is now set. So we're going to go enter ship. So we have to click on it. Engineering office, fully operational again, Captain. We now have an additional work team to carry out 2 tasks simultaneously. All right, so this is telling us how the engineering thing works. Logically, we should focus on Deck 2 and the mess hall to ensure the crew's food supply. Maintaining their physical endurance, this requires reactivating life support in that section first. All right, so it's going to talk about food. We'll get to that in a bit. So we're going to switch on that. Life support restored on Deck 2, Captain. Access to the mess hall is now possible. However, it has sustained extensive damage. Emergency rations are currently deployed. After repair, the crew can access replicator rations again. So we're going to repair. This is going to take us 3 repairs in progress. Till completion, we should address crew accommodations. The ruined room must be cleared to create room for residential sections. So this is talking about how to build stuff. So if you look up here, this is our morale. It's bad. We're losing 80 morale per cycle. So the reasons why we're using emergency rations that we're losing, that's a bad thing. And we have quarterless people. We've got 50 people that don't have rooms. They're sleeping in the hallways. And 50 people eating horrible rations. So it's causing the 80 points of morale. So we got to get that all taken care of. So the engineering room is online automatically, it's switched on automatically, so we don't have to do that. I just want to check that. So we are going to go here, and we're going to clear this room, which should give us 16 of these guys. While waiting for our work teams to finish, we should continue to collect more resources. All right, so again, let's go for the easy stuff. All right, the mess hall has been activated. Let's go into the mess hall. So you see, we're already at 42. We were down. You were originally using like 12 energy. Now we're using 42 energy. Mess hall repairs are completed, Captain. We should switch to replicator rations now. It would enhance crew well-being. All right, so emergency rations, we are losing 40 morale per turn, which is horrible. We don't want to do that. So premium replicator rations, click on this. Replicator rations are now issued to the crew captain. So this is burning up 1 deuterium per cycle for 3 crews. So we're using 17 extra deuterium per cycle for feeding our people. So this is the number of cycles of fuel we have left on our ship. So we've got a crew available. So we are clearing up this. I'm going to go ahead and I think shields should be something we should have. So I'm going to go in here and we're going to repair the shield generator because, you know, spaceships flying around should probably have shields. At least that's what I think. All right, the ruined room has been dismantled. So we're going to go back in the ship. We click on it. Ruined room removal concluded. Maybe we should rebuild some crew quarters now. It'll do wonders for morale, Captain. So this tells us how to do that. So we're going to click with the little hammer here. Click on crew. And right now, the only thing we can build, well, we can't even build a sick bay. The only thing we can build is this. And that is emergency crews. Houses 12 crew members, and morale is -1 per cycle. However, that's better than them sleeping in the halls. It's an even bigger morale crisis. So we're going to go ahead and start building this. It takes 6 cycles for that. Now this, someone's talking to us. So we're going to click on this. The caretaker. Captain, the array's jamming signal has been neutralized. We should be able to establish communication. Let's hope they respond. Hail the array. Ugh, who's this? Why are you bothering me? Oh, it's you. Why are you back? You don't have what I need. I remember that voice, Captain. It's the old man with the banjo. But his form is entirely different compared to how he appeared on the array. I'm Captain Janeway of the Federation starship Voyager. We mean you no harm. We just want our people back. Your people? Your people are no longer here. They might have what I need. You'll just have to leave them. So, these are our options. We can appeal to his humanity, 70% chance. We can try to intimidate him, 70% chance. We can let Alana talk, 70% chance. But we do have a 100% chance to scan, so we're going to do that one first. I won't rely on the words of a stranger. Scan the array for life signs of Tom and Chakotay. No sign of them, Captain, and no humanoid life forms indicated at all. Who or what are we talking to right now? We'll appeal to his humanity. We are entrusted with their safety. Their families and friends rely on us to bring them home. They're our responsibility. We succeeded. I understand, but I had no choice. There just isn't enough time. Time for what? I must honor a debt that can never be repaid. Find something that cannot be found. Offer our help. What are you looking for? Maybe we can help. You? I've searched the galaxy with methods beyond your comprehension. No, there's nothing you can do. No, you're stealing my time. Don't you understand? I don't have time. Not enough time. We've been cut off, Captain. Damn it. We haven't gotten any closer to Paris and Chakotay. You managed to get something. Your Starfleet don't know how to fight, but you sure talk good. Captain, if I may, I have observed that the array has been sending energy pulses towards the 5th planet of the neighboring system ever since our arrival. Given the lack of information regarding our missing crew's location, investigating this planet seems to be the most logical next step. That's my best Vulcan voice. It's the only lead we have. Thoughts, Miss Torres? Don't like this any more than you do, but it'll be easier if we work together, Captain. Helm, set a course for the 5th planet of the neighboring system. Let's find our people. Set course for the 5th planet of the neighboring system. Maximum warp. And this tells us how to do the sector. So, we are grabbing some. Oh, the shield generator's up and running. That's good. So we've got that going. Now, we need phasers. Because, again, space, ships. Alright. We came across an abandoned mining station. The station is under lockdown and seems to be damaged. Safely search for anything valuable. See, now you see even the little options got some yellow in there, some bad. And here it's orange, which is even worse. Because our engineering office is only level 1. Assuming it was level 2, we'd have a better shot at it. But with that said, we're going to stick with the easy stuff because the orange is pretty bad and it's high up there. Yeah, that was probably would have fallen in the orange. We would have gotten very little there. But we got 53 out of there. So we're running a little low on fuel, so we're just going to pop right over here and grab fuel from this planet. Phaser control room is up, so let's go back into the ship. All right, we've used it 55. I think the next thing is shuttle bay should be fixed. So we're going to fix the shuttle bay. What's this? Oh, that's the workshop. We're going to fix the shuttle bay. We don't have this. We can't fix the shuttle bay. Never mind. All right, we're going to fix the science lab next. Probably should have fixed the science lab first, but, you know, you learn. All right, so we go to sector. We're in... Oh, we hit the small debris field. Okay, so this is where we're at. You see by the VOY. There's 3 systems in this sector. This one has got what we need. Science lab is up. All right, it's not going to give us the tech stuff yet. All right, so now let's just start getting stuff fixed here. What's this? Torpedo launch bay. Let's fix the torpedo launch bay. So we've got our torpedo shields up, we got our phasers up. This will get us our photon torpedoes up. All right, we're traveling. All right, so the emergency crew quarters has been built. So let's go into the ship. So now you see we were losing 40 a turn. Now we're only losing 21 a turn. So even though it's just crew quarters, emergency crew quarters, it's still better than sleeping in the street. Now these take up 2 spaces. This is a 3 space area here. So this little ruined room by the phasers is a 2 space station. So let's get this cleared up and we can build another emergency area. All right, torpedo tubes is set up. Turn that on. Let's go ahead and keep clearing out this deck. And then we'll have this deck we can clear out as well. Dismantled. We don't need to build anything. Oh, yeah, we want to go ahead and I think we can build it. All right, so we are going to Alright, so we're a little low on fuel. We're going to go ahead and hit this planet and get our fuel. There's science here, so we're going to grab science, because science is always fun. And then we can hit our... Or we can come here, too. I think this is the 2 space room. Let's go ahead and clear it up. So we can build another shelter there. All right, so if we use the Bussard collectors, you can see there's a lot of orange there. So we're going to go a little bit safer. So we were at our cap, so we collected 501, but we could only store 426. That's what that's for. All right, let's go here. And then we'll collect stuff before we leave this area. Emergency crew quarters have been built. So now we're only losing 12. Our crew's getting happier. Well, these are 2s. This must be a 3. Yeah, that's a 3. These is what we need. Captain, we've reached our destination. Orders? Continue. So we could hit return later. A lot of talking in this game. Let's see what we have here. Following the array's energy pulses, Voyager discovers a desert planet with a harsh, unforgiving landscape. Are Tom Paris and Commander Chakotay perhaps being held in this place? What makes this place so special? All right, well, we've got 100% scans. We're going to go ahead and do a scan the energy pulses. Anything noteworthy about the energy pulses? They are consistently targeting a single location, a barren piece of the desert. I recommend an away team to investigate the area. There is something else. The interval between each pulse has decreased by 0.47 seconds since we left the array. They're getting faster. The entity said he was running out of time, right? Whatever that means, we'd better hurry. All right, let's do a stellar cartography. See what we can learn about this planet. It has all the basic characteristics of an M-class planet, but no ocean, no river, nothing. However, there are settlements. Let's analyze the atmosphere. 75% chance. Let's take a look at what happened here. Success! The atmosphere contains no nucleogenic particles, Captain. The planet is incapable of producing rain. I've studied thousands of M-class planets, but I've never seen an atmosphere without nucleogenics. There must be some kind of extraordinary environmental disaster. You can study the planet in detail after we've rescued Chakotay. Prepare an away team. We'll examine this world firsthand. Captain, a small ship is approaching. They're hailing us. On screen. First contact. A peculiar alien with a mischievous grin greets Voyager from his chaotic vessel. Neither Starfleet nor the Marquis have ever seen such a species before. Perhaps an inhabitant of the Delta Quadrant. Greetings. Looking for something on this dusty old rock? Would we find anything, Mr. Neelix? Never seen a ship like yours. Let me guess. You were whisked away from somewhere else in the galaxy and brought here against your will? Sounds as though you've heard this story before. Thousands of times. Well, hundreds of times. Maybe 50 times? But the caretaker has been bringing ships here for months now. The caretaker? That's what the Ocampa call him. He probably snatched some of your crew too, right? They're likely down on the planet with the Ocampa. But Captain, it's a tricky place. Dangerous. You could use a guide. But, of course, a guide needs a little, you know, compensation. Sounds fair? Wonderful! To be honest, I had it rough recently. Those pesky void voles have been nibbling away at my supplies. Some food and water would be most welcome. If you help us find our missing crew, you can have all the food and water you want. It's a deal! Neelix recruited. Alright, Voyager until Neelix is ready to talk. Okay, so let's go over here and we'll pick up the supply. The rooms are dismantled. Let's get us another emergency crew quarter. And you know what? Let's get us another emergency crew quarter. So we got 26. This is 12 each. That's 24. That'll leave 2 people sitting around on Maybe they can take turns or something. Our sensors have detected, boy, I can read, a small but stable spatial anomaly. It is not dangerous, but it could provide valuable scientific data. So this one's got some of the orange in there, which could be really bad. It's like high risk, but it's for 10 extra and a chance of losing a bunch. We're gonna go ahead and stick with the easy one. Oh, we could have gotten all 40, but you know, 30 is better than none. All right, let's go ahead and pick up this. We're at our caps. We're gonna grab this much. What a delicious meal, a culinary masterpiece. I've never encountered such a tangy but comforting, smooth yet vibrant concoction. What was it called again? Tomato soup. I giggled at it last time too. Tomato soup? I'm something of a culinary wizard myself, you know. My Alfarian hair pasta bowl is widely known for its bold, mouth-watering taste. Mr. Neelix, I am pleased you are enjoying yourself, but we need your assistance now. Ah, yes, your missing crew, right? Scan the southern continent and look for a range of dead volcanoes. At the foot, you'll find a Kazon Ogla encampment. Kazon, what? One Kazon sect of many. They control this part of the quadrant. They're a bit difficult, but with the right approach, even they can be reasoned with. I thought you said the Ocampa had our people. Well, the Ocampa have your people. It's just finding them is a bit tricky. My old pal, Majay Jabin, the Ogla leader, might know where to look. He's a nice guy, bit gruff, but he owes me a favor. Ask for more information about the Kazon Ogla. Anything else we should know about these Kazon Ogla? Water is a precious commodity around these parts. The Ogla, they mostly want theirs through trade, so a little liquid diplomacy would go a long way. Usually liquid diplomacy means something other than water. Send down the away team. Very well, prepare an away team, and you'll accompany them, Mr. Neelix. Captain, we've reached our destination. Orders? Alright, so Neelix is going with us. So we've got tech stuff, Starfleet stuff, combat, and science. So Neelix is definitely, this is diplomacy. Neelix is definitely a diplomatic guy. He's got a little bit of tech going in it. So Alana has got a little bit of science and some more tech, so that would be good. Let's see, she's got more tech than Tom does. So Tom's got the Starfleet. Don't need the science, don't need the med. He's got negligible tech. Tuvok has got some Starfleet, not as much as Tom. He's got good combat, a little bit of science. And Harry's got tech and science. So I think we're going to send Harry and Tuvok along with Neelix. The away team materializes in a small valley between the dead volcanoes. The sun burns down on them mercilessly. The air is hot and dry, and a sandy wind whips into their eyes. Captain, our tricorders are malfunctioning, probably because of the energy impulses. How do we get our bearings in this dust bowl? So we can't do this one because we don't have survivalist, which it probably said survivalist would have been good to bring, and I just missed it. So my bad. So we're gonna have to struggle through to a vantage point. And we could have gotten 200 fuel out of it too. Let's hope this doesn't hurt it. I stayed down there way too long. The away team pushes forward, battling the strong winds and low visibility. Finally, they emerge onto a ledge with a clearer view of the surrounding area. In the distance, they spot the Kazon Ogla settlement. However, the wind is picking up and a massive sandstorm is approaching from the south. Captain, the sandstorm is headed our way. We need to find cover fast, and we don't have Innovator either. We just don't have squat here, do we? So Kim can get us our science through and will give us science points. I always try to get science points when I can, so we're going to go with Kim. Analyze the area and evaluate the best cover for the storm. The away team quickly analyzes the terrain, discovering a natural crevice offering the best location from the storm. The rock walls shield them from the worst of the wind and sand. After what seems like an eternity, the storm subsides. The away team emerges, unharmed, and sets off in the direction of the Kazon Ogla settlement. There's our 10 science. Captain, we've reached the settlement. How should we approach the people here? So the Talaxian, that is Neelix, is our only surefire thing, and we'll get, this is morale. And so we don't get anything, weapons at the ready, and we don't have, it's not, we have a chance of failure, so we're definitely going to go with Neelix here. Neelix bounds forward, greeting the Kazon Ogla in his usual boisterous manner. The women and children seem to recognize him, but their expressions are skeptical rather than welcoming. The men approach cautiously, weapons in hand. A tall Kazon emerges from the settlement, Jabin, their leader, or Jabin. At the sight of Neelix, his face darkens. In the background, a badly bruised young woman who looks nothing like the Kazon, but with a more human, but more like a human with pointy ears, peers around the corner. Seems like the Kazon don't find Neelix as charming as he would have us believe. How should we appease them, Captain? Alright, so we can assure them we have no bad intentions, however, that's not going to work. We can demonstrate strength, that's not the greatest. Now this one would give us 15 of these, but we're already capped out on those. Now we can auto-success this if we used both Kim and Neelix, but I think we're just going to use demonstrate strength to keep the Kazon at bay with Tuvok. Display of potential force seems to impress Jabin, who explains that the Ocampa live underground, their access controlled by the caretaker, who also provides their only source of water. As proof, Jabin points to the bruised woman he is holding as a slave, an Ocampa. He explains that she is one of the few who have managed to reach the surface. Suddenly, Neelix grabs a phaser. He points it at Jabin and demands the Ocampa woman be freed. Alright, now we're going to see risk. Things are getting out of hand, Captain. We should retreat. Now this choices matter here. So if we appease and carefully withdraw, we will succeed. Risk means if we fail, there's a chance someone could die or get injured. We don't want that. So if we look here, tactical retreat run, that's like a 50% chance to fail. That's not good. If we secure the retreat with phaser, that's Starfleet. If we use phaser, it goes down a bit. Still not a good chance. So we're going to appease and carefully withdraw with Neelix. And we would have failed everything else. The away team raises their hands in a gesture of peace, slowly backing away while choosing their words carefully to calm the angry Kazon. Jabin, though furious at Neelix's impulsive action, recognizes the away team's intelligent attempt to de-escalate the situation. He allows them to retreat, though his eyes burn with anger. Alright, Kim's level 3. More than gratitude. Safely back on Voyager, Neelix surprises the rest of the away team as he and the rescued woman kiss passionately. How deep does the relationship between the two go? My dearest Kes, didn't I promise I'd save you? I knew you would come for me, my love. You lied and endangered my crew. This is not how trust is built, Mr. Neelix. He was desperate, Captain, but I understand. I want to repay you and your crew for saving me. As Jabin said, the access to the underground city is controlled by the caretaker. There is a tunnel, but the caretaker sealed it with a security barrier. We may be able to transport through the barrier if it had the slightest breach. A transporter signal amplifier would be necessary. Excellent idea. Kes, can you help us once we've located the breach? Of course, it's the least I can do. I'm grateful. Now. Alright, ask Kes why she came to the surface. Kes, if it's so dangerous on the surface, why did you leave your home? I felt a strong pull to explore the world beyond the city. I yearned for the freedom to discover new things and learn about myself. Seeing my people so dependent on the caretaker, unable to even think for themselves, it was unbearable. We once possessed telepathic abilities, but they atrophied over many generations. Ask how they met. Kes, Mr. Neelix, I'm curious. How did you two meet? I met Kes while I was trading with the Kazon Ogla. They enslaved her, but she was kind. Even to someone like me, I had to get her out. He visited, brought me gifts, made me laugh. He was the only good thing in that terrible place. We fell in love. I admit I used you, Captain. I apologize, but I'd do it again in a heartbeat. Ask what she knows about the caretaker. What can you tell us about the caretaker? For generations, he has provided the Ocampa with food, water, energy, and protection from the outside world. Any idea why he does it, or where he came from? No. We do have stories and legends about him, but they're just stories and legends. We have things to do. Alright, someone get started on that transporter signal amplifier, and Kes, we'll go to sickbay and have you examined. Captain, the science lab is back online. We can start researching the signal amplifier. Alright, so now we can actually do real science, but we're going to analyze that guy right there. Alright, and we're going to go ahead and call it here. One thing about this game is there's no save functions. You have to go until you have an autosave kicks in. So we should have had an autosave kick in after we rescued Tess, but we're going to call it here. Thank you guys for watching. Again, let me know down in the comments if this is something you want me to keep playing, or if you'd rather have something a little more like what we normally play on this channel. I think it's a pretty cool game, but let me know what you think about that. I've been Sir Joseph. You guys are amazing. Until next time, stay safe out there, and I'll talk to you later.